Hopefully we are live right now. Welcome everybody to the stream. I'll just wait for some people to get in, but I thought we'd do something just a little bit different. I wanted to do some sort of podcast format, so I'm going to structure it today. So we'll try and talk about the upcoming Insurgency Sandstorm update, Hell Let Loose update. I also want to talk about some of the games that a lot of you guys have been asking about. Things like 6 Days in Fallujah, Isonzo, and things like Ready or Not as well, to see what's happening with those. But welcome everybody. If you can hear me, just welcome. Welcome Dai. Welcome Nunez as well. So I thought we'd kick off the podcast today. We're going to be talking about Insurgency Sandstorm's major update that's going to be coming to console. And yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting time for this game. And I've got a few things that I do want to discuss and just let you guys know regarding basically what's happening with this major update that's coming this year. And I think this is going to get a lot of people coming back to the game. So welcome Eddie, welcome Fonz, haven't seen you in a while, welcome. And if you haven't dropped me a like as well, that'd be much appreciated. So first off, I thought we'd just discuss, whilst that advert just comes in the way, I thought we'd first discuss what's happening with this major update. So basically, we're going to be getting an optimized version for the Series X and the PS5. And they did confirm that on Twitter that we are going to be getting a specific Xbox Series X and S version and for the PS5. And they're also going to be adding cross-platform. So we're talking about Insurgency Sandstorm for the major update, and we'll discuss all the other games later on in the podcast. But for the major update that's coming in 2022, we will be getting the optimization for the Series X, the S, and the PS5, and we're also going to be getting cross-platform, and that's just going to be between just consoles. So we're not going to see that between PC, which I think is a good thing. I'm kind of glad that they're not going down the route of having it as, say, console versus PC, because that'd be totally unfair. So I think that's a really good addition. We're also going to be getting some graphical improvements. So things like textures, effects are going to be much better in the next generation upgrade. And I think a lot of people were basically saying, it was putting a lot of people off, basically, from, I suppose, getting into Insurgency Sandstorm, because obviously it was a past generation port, so it didn't look as good. But I think with this next generation upgrade, it's definitely going to make it a lot better. And a lot of people were talking about the gore improvements. So they did confirm on Twitter as well that we will be getting the gore improvements as well on top of that with the 2022 upgrade for Insurgency Sandstorm, which I know a lot of people have been saying about. I think if you compare the gore on the console to the PC, there is a bit of a difference. So they are going to be improving the detail for that as well. Yeah, I definitely hope more games like Escape from Tarkov come to console, which we'll talk about some of the games as well that are slated to be coming to not to Insurgency Sandstorm. Some of the games that possibly will be coming to console, things like Ready or Not and World War 3 as well. So we will touch upon that later on. As well, if you've just joined us as well, if you could drop a like, it really does help out massively. So, on top of that, we're also going to be getting with Insurgency Sandstorm this year, we're going to be getting some new content that was confirmed on Twitter. So we will be getting things like new maps. We're going to be getting new weapons as well. We're going to be getting community-made skins, free skins. Those community-made skins, which I did make a video on, but they do look pretty impressive. They've got things like equipable, say, goggles, different headgear and things like that. So it does look pretty good. And I know the community was saying originally about the cosmetics for Sandstorm, saying they wanted a bit more grounded. So we will be seeing a bit more grounded cosmetics with the community's take, I guess, on some of those cosmetics. So yeah, we will be getting free cosmetics and, of course, all the paid content, the paid skins with the gold and the ultimate edition. But for me, it's got to be, I think, just the new content, really, new maps. And I think there needs to be something like in terms of progression and things like that. So something that we can work towards. Because I think that's kind of where Sandstorm lacks a little bit, is working towards something. So if we've actually got something to work towards, I think that's going to be, something that can keep players, I guess, playing the game a little bit longer. But it seems to be doing pretty well so far. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, Paito. Welcome, Eddie. Welcome, Rommel, as well. Do you know when Insurgency Sandstorm update is coming? Well, it's going to be coming out this year. So a lot of things are changing with this update. We're going to see a big improvement. And I think if they can relaunch this and really show it as the proper next generation upgrade with the, smoother, I guess, because I look at the image right now, because it's doing it through the past generation version, it does look a bit blurry, so hopefully that's fixed as well in the next gen upgrade. And things like graphical improvements and a performance mode as well would be awesome. I think something like 120 frames per second mode, I think would definitely be much appreciated. Eddie, I wish the Series S had 120 frames per second. I think that would be really good and really beneficial for the console platform. But if they can do it with Series S, then I think that'd be great. But yeah, I think so far the game's doing pretty well. And I would say if Insurgency Sandstorm can kind of capitalize on 2042, especially the players moving away from there and looking for other games, I think would be a really positive thing. So I think the state of the game right now, it needs more content and it needs more things to kind of work towards. And hopefully with the 2022 updates that they're going to bring, especially just with the Series X, Series S and PS5 upgrade, and then with the new content on top of that, I think it'll be a really great game. So it seems like the player base as well is fairly strong. I mean, it's pretty quick to get into a game, so it's good to see. Sandstorm is boring as hell. I wouldn't say it's boring. I would say it's a nice addition to the console platform. I'd say I'm really happy that this game's come, and I think it's a great game. And I just think they need to market it a little bit more and get more people on it, to be honest. Do you know when the next update for Hell Let Loose? So we'll talk about the next thing that I do want to talk about is Hell Let Loose and the new update that they're going to be getting. So there is going to be a big update for Hell Let Loose. So I'm just going to look at the console 2022 roadmap. So we are going to be getting a lot of new content with Hell Let Loose. So for Hell Let Loose is doing really well right now. Really popular. I'm just going to change the footage in the background just to some Hell Let Loose. So Hell Let Loose at the moment is doing fairly well. It's really easy to get into servers. So it does seem like it's very popular right now, which is great. I know it was free on PlayStation Plus, I believe. So at the moment we're getting patch 17, which I believe is being worked on and tested on the PC right now. So they are testing that, and that's going to iron out some performance issues and stability problems. So they are constantly evolving this game. But on top of that, we are going to be getting a proper console 2022 roadmap. So we're going to be getting the British forces. So we're going to get British maps, British weapons, and I believe the bridge map is going to be Operation Market Garden, and that was confirmed by one of the developers, I believe, on Discord. So we are going to be getting the British faction and Operation Market Garden, and also the Eastern Front, because the console version still hasn't got the Eastern Front map. So I think with Stalingrad and Cursed, which is going to be coming with the Eastern Front DLC, I think that's going to really flesh out this game, because I do think that it needs more content, and especially the content that it lacks from, say, the PC version. And they have stated that they do want to get some parity between the PC and the console. And that's not going to be, say, cross-platform, because a lot of people have been saying, is that going to be cross-platform between consoles and PC? But that's not going to be the case. They just basically want to bring the console in line with the PC version. So it's definitely coming up to speed We're also going to be getting new weapons, new vehicles as well. We're going to get the FG-42. We're going to get the trench gun. We're going to get some Jeeps. We're also going to get all the Soviet content with all the vehicles that we saw with that and the different weapons. We're also going to be getting night maps as well, which look pretty impressive. I don't think they're currently on the PC version, so we haven't seen that on PC just yet. But I have seen a screenshot for it, and it did look really good. So if we can get the night maps, the Eastern Front, and then also the British faction and Operation Market Garden, and I believe there's going to be British maps, so there must be multiple maps that we're going to see. So I think with all that sort of content, it's really going to be fleshed out, and I really think it's going to be a content-filled game, a really great game. And I do like Hell Let Loose. I think it's brilliant. And there goes an ad. Go away. But I think right now, Hell Let Loose is in a good spot. But with this 2022 roadmap, I think it's going to really elevate this game. And like I said, it seems to be really popular. Eddie, I've recently bought Hell Let Loose on Xbox and thoroughly enjoying it right now. Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great game. I do play it with my brother. And I really enjoy it. Every time I go on, I really do have a good time. It's a lot of fun, and I think you do have to play with people, though. If you're going to get Hell Let Loose, it is one of those games where you do need to play with people. So I would recommend getting a squad together, because if you're going to play solo, it's not really going to be a fun experience. For Hell Let Loose, you have to play every day to have fun for me, but it's fun. I don't play it every day, to be honest, but sometimes I'll have the odd couple of games on it. But every time I go on it, it is a lot of fun, and I do think it's one of those games that I'm just waiting for a bit more content, especially all the content that's missing from the PC version. But I think after that, it's really going to be a top game. So I'd say the state of the game for Hell Let Loose, really healthy player base, easy to get into matches, lots of content coming on its way with the roadmap that we've seen for Hell Let Loose, and I think the market has really shown that there's a big demand for it, and I think especially with the acquisition of Team 17 buying the Hell Let Loose IP, I think that's really shown how much interest there actually is for these tactical shooters on console. So I'd definitely say that, you know, if people were doubting that these tactical shooters would be popular on console, but I would say look at Hell Let Loose, look at Sandstorm. They're both really popular games now. I'd love to see the player counts on them, because I think they are really high, especially Hell Let Loose. It's doing really, really well. And Team 17 obviously buying the IP, which I think was for about $100 million. You're not going to be spending that sort of money if the game is doing poorly. And I think the only reason why they've gone and acquired really the IP now is because of the success of console, really. So I think it's got a bright future. Hell Let Loose 2 could be quite exciting to see where they take the franchise, and to see if they can do a modern game, like different theatres and things for Hell Let Loose. Because I know a lot of people have said about Squad. So if they take a look at different theatres, things like modern, I think that would really, really sell well. So yeah, Hell Let Loose is doing good. Love Hell Let Loose. Welcome Sunny Cat. Welcome to the stream. Level 8 medic. So I think we'll move on to just talking about 6 days in Fallujah. So 6 days in Fallujah, we'll switch over to some gameplay for that. But yeah, six days in Fallujah is going to be coming out in, well, this year in Q4 2022. So 6 days in Fallujah, another really good game that I'm really excited about, to be honest. I think this has got a lot of potential, especially the procedurally generated maps. I think that got me really excited. The fact that you're never going to be playing the same kind of maps over and over. It's just kind of going to be different each time. I think that's the big appeal, and you can see some gameplay on screen right now. It looks really good. It honestly looks really good. And for me, I'm a big co-op player. I do play a lot of co-op for Insurgency Sandstorm. So to see the big emphasis on sort of the co-op and making sure that you've got procedurally generated maps, which is going to be a big deal for replayability. So I think if they can just iron out this game, just just really focus on polishing this game to the full extent, I think this could be a fantastic game. And I'm not sure if there's going to be PvP in this game, like PvP multiplayer, but I know there's going to be co-op, and that's going to be between, I believe, 4 players. So I can't wait to play this game, and it gets me excited. It's a different kind of theatre. It's set in the Iraq War, and a lot of people were trying to cancel this game, and I'm so glad that cancel culture didn't get to it, and I'm really happy that they've actually decided to continue with this game. There's no reason. A lot of people speculated that essentially they delayed it again because of cancel culture, but it's not because of that. It's essentially they've been employing more people to make sure that this game is as good as possible. And I think they've got a good chance. I really think they've got a good chance at a big release. So I really hope that this extra time, Q4, which is going to be probably about October, November time, that we're going to see 6 days in Fallujah. So there is a little bit of a wait to go. But it's one of those games that I'm keeping on the back burner and just thinking, I can't wait for it because I think it's going to be really good. And hopefully they continue with the vision of making it as authentic as possible. Because every time I look at like the comments underneath certain Twitter posts, it's saying, got to cancel this game. We can't do this. It's too upsetting. And I just think at the end of the day, like, I understand that, there's veterans that are alive still for obviously the Iraq War, but it would be an interesting setting. And I think you can't stifle the developers. You've got to give them the chance and opportunity to have that creative freedom. And if you start stifling people and telling them that they can't make certain games, that's when I guess the art form gets weaker. So I'm glad that they're going ahead with it, and I think it could be a very good one. So I think we'll go on to Isonzo now, and I actually forgot to get some footage for that, so I might just put some Ready or Not in the background. But Isonzo is another game that I'm really excited about. So Isonzo is going to be coming out early 2022. So we're going to be seeing this in, I believe it's Q2 2022. So that's going to be around about June, July time. So not really long to wait for this title. So Isonzo, World War I shooter. Really excited about it. Welcome business. Or welcome back to the stream. And yeah, I think Isonzo, hardcore World War I shooter. They did emphasize that it's going to be more of a tactical first-person shooter this time around. So that was something that they said on the Steam page. So it is going to be an authentic shooter set in World War I in the Italian Alps. So it's quite an interesting setting. I did get a chance to actually play the alpha, and I have to admit I was really impressed with the alpha from what I played. It was actually really good. So I think Isonzo really does have a big potential to be a success. And I know Tannenberg and Verdun didn't have the biggest in terms of, I guess, popularity. It did kind of suffer from that. There was a lack of players. But I do really think that there's a big opportunity for Isonzo to be quite a good game. From what I've played, I like the colour palette as well. I like some of the changes that they've made to things like sort of Levolution moments. You can cut down barbed wire. You can also blow bridges up and things. So it's kind of like Levolution, what we'd see in Battlefield 4. It's obviously not as grand and as impressive as, say, Battlefield 4, but still, I was really impressed. I think they've added a bit more depth to the game. They have got bots in the game as well, just in case, obviously, the game isn't as successful, which it might suffer from player counts, but I think from what I've played so far, I was quite impressed, and I think it'll be one of those games where you can, jump back into it every now and again. So I'll definitely be playing it. I'll definitely see what it's all about when the full release happens. There's also going to be 48 players in a match. So I think they've increased that player count maybe just a little bit, and it is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and obviously the next-gen consoles and PC as well. I'll just say welcome everybody as well. El Intocable 007. The one I want is Isonzo. Yeah, Isonzo should be pretty good. I don't think it's going to have a massive player base, but it'll be nice to see what happens. So yeah, I think we'll talk about some Ready or Not. So Ready or Not has been a game that a lot of people have been asking about, and I've got some Ready or Not footage on screen right now so you can take a look. Ready or Not was a game that a lot of people ask me about. A lot of people always ask about Ready or Not and whether it's coming to console. Now, I would have said that it was definitely going to come to console when Team 17 were behind the game, well, behind publishing this title. But Team 17 did pull out, and I think that's probably sort of hindered the chances of this game coming to console. But if they still do go ahead with it and still do bring it to console, I think it would be a fantastic one. And someone did mention earlier, basically saying that essentially if Ready or Not did come to console, then it would sell, you know, a huge amount. And I totally agree. I think if Ready or Not did come to console, I think it would sell millions. I think it's a fantastic game on PC. I've played it. But to see it on console as well, I think would be a great, great thing. And hopefully they do go out and do it, because I think they're missing out on a big, big audience. A lot of people want to see these more tactical shooters now. And I think console players are ready for it. And I do think there's an audience for it. So I would say to the people behind Ready or Not, it's definitely something that I think should be looked into, because I think it really would be a massive commercial success, and I think they'd really reap the rewards from it. Obviously, it's doing pretty well right now on PC, but yeah, to see it on console as well, I think that's when they're really going to see some big return. Can't wait for Isonzo. Yeah, definitely. I think it would be great. I really, well, Isonzo's going to be great. Do you think tactical shooters will be the Gen AAA? Yeah, I hope so. I hope it happens more. I hope more developers actually do it, because I do think there's an audience for it. I really do. But especially Ready or Not, I think they've got to look into it, because it would be good. And also World War 3 as well is another one that people mention on console. I have done a video on this before, and I think there was some talk about it coming to console. I think they said that they actually were working on it. I couldn't find, I think it's on one of my videos, but I think they did actually say that they were going to be working on it, and they'll reveal more about the console release when that becomes available and when they want to share that with us. So I do think World War 3 is definitely going to be on its way to console. It's not really a hardcore shooter, but it's something that people do want to see. I know, obviously, I do like the customization and things that they're going for in World War 3, so I think it could be a pretty good game to see, for sure. But it's definitely not really a tactical shooter, I guess. But yeah, World War 3 would be nice to see. And yeah, I think also just on top of that, Ready or Not, I think they've got to do it. 100% it's got to be done. And also, if you just joined as well, if you could drop a like, it really does help out massively. Really do appreciate everyone's support as well, and hopefully you are enjoying it. I think I'll just kind of recap a little bit and then we'll call it a day, but I do appreciate everyone just stopping by. It's just something I wanted to try just for a podcast. If you do want to see more as well, just do let me know, and I'll definitely do some more on some various different topics, or I'll mostly do it on just tactical shooters for console when we do get some news. So as soon as we do get the Sandstorm update, I'll definitely be talking about that, and definitely be doing some sort of podcast and structure it so that I can give you guys, I guess, a more in-depth analysis, because my videos usually are quite small. So just something like this just allows me to, I guess, go in more depth a little bit more. Welcome Ash as well. More tactical shooters, please, lads. Smashing Hell Let Loose. Yeah, Hell Let Loose, really awesome. I'm really glad that that's doing so well. So just, I think overall, the sort of landscape right now for tactical hardcore shooters is looking really good. So I think Sandstorm's doing really successful. I think Hell Let Loose is doing successful. I think 6 Days in Fallujah will do successful as well when that does come out in Q4. 2022 this year. And I think if Ready or Not came out, that would really, I think, be a massive, massive commercial success. So I would say, again, got to be done. It would really be awesome. But yeah, I think it's just really good to see that we're actually seeing more tactical shooters come into console, and there seems to be an audience for it, and that's really good to see. I'm really happy that people are getting behind it. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, that would be fantastic. And I might just do some sort of, I guess, like post discussion maybe with you guys if you've got any more questions just after the stream, after this. But yeah, I think I'll definitely do some more in the future. I did really enjoy it, in all fairness. It's been quite an enjoyable stream, to be fair. But yeah, appreciate everyone. And if you have, like I said, if you've got any questions as well, let me know if you've been playing any of these hardcore shooters. Have you been playing things like Insurgency, Sandstorm? Have you been playing Hell Let Loose? Have you not been enjoying them? Do let me know. I should have put this on low latency so I could interact a bit more with you guys, because I think there's a little bit of a delay. But any questions that you have, I'll be sure to answer. Unfortunately, don't think hardcore shooters will ever be AAA trend. Too many people like their hands to be held in games. They don't like to die in one shot. They prefer fast-paced shooters. Yeah, I kind of think that we're moving towards more hardcore shooters now. I think it's definitely the push. I definitely think there's a push towards these more hardcore shooters and tactical shooters on console, especially. So I do think it's happening. Obviously, the fast-paced sort of games are always going to be more popular because, like you said, hand-holding, that's always going to appeal to the biggest demographic, which is just people that want to play for a couple of hours. But I definitely think people are actually enjoying these more hardcore shooters. I think they really are getting behind it. And I think that game would have sold well as well. I think it's probably done commercially well. I play Sandstorm every day. Insurgency Sandstorm is my favourite game. Insurgency Sandstorm and Hell Let Loose both are great. Yes, I can't wait to see the Sandstorm update. Yeah, sounds dope. Yeah, I think overall, definitely the Sandstorm update is going to be a big one. I think that's really going to be a popular one. And I think what they need to do, really, I'm just doing this as just a post just after the podcast, so I thought I'd just go a little bit longer. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed as well, if you could, that'd be awesome. I do cover a lot of these tactical shooters on console. But I do think with this Sandstorm update that I did discuss earlier, I think with the graphical improvements and the performance mode as well, for 120 frames per second, I think that would be a real big deal. And just adding new weapons and new maps and just overall content, I think it's just gonna give that game a new life. But I do think they kind of need to sort out progression. I just think progression is probably the only thing that's keeping it down just a little bit, because I think I have noticed that people have been saying how they play this game and they love it, but maybe there just needs to be a little bit more to keep people playing. So I do love it. I think it's a great game, but progression possibly. And I think that's going to happen with the content. If they can add that more content, I think that's what's going to keep players compelled. So, yeah, definitely. Push towards tactical shooters would be great. Yeah, for sure. World War 3 really I'm hoping comes to console. Like COD and Battlefield Insurgency, give it to me. Yeah, I like World War 3. I think it's good. From what I've seen so far, it looks pretty good. I haven't actually played it after all the updates. I think it is out right now on PC, but I think on console it would do fairly well. And as a free-to-play shooter, I might as well just give it a go. So yeah, they have said about World War 3 coming to console. There has been talk about that, and I think they did actually release a statement basically saying it was going to be coming to console. So I think that's something that they were saying is going to be happening. So I definitely do think World War 3 is going to happen. Ready or Not, I think that's going to be hit and miss. I think just sadly because of Team 17 pulling out, I think that's been a big hit in the stomach, I guess. So if Team 17, the publishers behind Hell Let Loose, were doing Ready or Not now, I'd have said 100% it's coming to console. But now that they've lost that, I just think, who knows. But if it does, it'll sell millions.
Get down. I want to see him.
Yeah. Call of Duty Modern Warfare tactical elements. Yeah, I think that should be pretty cool. Modern Warfare 2. I'll be interested in that, but honestly, like, Call of Duty now is just not something I'm interested in. I'm looking for more hardcore experiences. And I just think Sandstorm and Hell Let Loose are doing that for me. And I'd love to see something like Squad as well come to console. I think that'd be fantastic. The recent CODs haven't been looking good. Yeah, I definitely don't think the recent CODs have been doing good. Vanguard, yeah, boring. I don't think Vanguard's a very good game. I did actually play the beta on that, and I didn't think it was very good. But I think overall, just looking at the landscape right now, I think it's looking good. COD is shit. What about Tarkov or 0 Hour? I think Tarkov, there was actually... I mean, I could actually talk about this just a little bit just before I end the stream. But some people have been saying about Tarkov coming to console, Escape from Tarkov. And a lot of people were asking about that, saying it would be a great addition to the console platform. I'm not sure where that sort of information was coming from. I did see a video on it talking about Escape from Tarkov, but I didn't really see any sources where he was actually getting that information from. So I'm not 100% convinced that Escape from Tarkov is going to be coming to console. I think it would be great if it did. Like, that would be another great addition to consoles, but I don't think there's been much official information, I don't think, really, about Escape from Tarkov. And I don't think about 0 Hour. I know I've played 0 Hour. It's actually a good game as well. But, yeah, I just think for Escape from Tarkov, I haven't really seen enough evidence that I could see that coming to console. I don't think they've really talked about it. But I think, again, I can't see why these sorts of games or these companies aren't bringing them out straight away. And maybe that's going to happen. Maybe we're going to actually see that eventually, like in the near future. Like, I don't want it to be like how it is right now, where you have to kind of beg for developers to give it, like, a console version. I just think it needs to happen. Like, it should just happen, just instant. Like, it just should happen. So I hope in the future that there's less begging for these games and we actually just see them just come on. So when you've got a hardcore tactical shooter that's on PC, we can just see it on console as well. Because a lot of people always use the excuse about buttons and controllers and things like that. But I think if they're smart about it, I think they can actually integrate it well. So for sure, I think it needs to happen. Will 6 Days be the military version of Ready or Not? I guess so. I mean, it's a co-op game. It's authentic. It's in the Iraq War. It looks really good. I like the procedurally generated maps for co-op. So I think there's a lot of potential for that game, and it is really hardcore, so it does look really good. All hardcore simulator games welcome on console any day. Looking forward to 6 Days and Isonzo. Yeah, for sure. I think that should be pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I just spoke about Ready or Not. So, Ready or Not, I don't think is going to come to console, probably, just because Team 17 pulling out. So, I can't really see that happening. But I think if Team 17 was still behind this and publishing it, then I think, yeah, we would have seen it. But I think the fact that they've pulled out might make it a little bit harder. So, if we do see it, I think it'll be fantastic. But I can't see it happening just with them pulling out, which is a shame. Because 100%, if Team 17, the guys behind Hell Let Loose, were doing it, then yeah, I would say 100%. Welcome, Keenan. Thanks. Appreciate becoming a member. If you haven't dropped a like as well, we're just doing a post podcast. So if you guys have got any questions that you want to ask, and let me know what games you've been playing. Have you been playing Hell Let Loose or Insurgency? Have you been enjoying them? Have you not? And then I think we'll wrap it up. But I do appreciate everyone coming today. And if you do want to see more sort of podcast-style streams, then I can definitely do it, because I've actually really enjoyed it today. It's been really good. So if we can get to 50 likes as well, if you haven't dropped a like, it does help out. It does help out push the stream out. Console could have some good games if they tried, like Squad or Postscriptum or Armor. I think Armor 3 would probably be a little bit difficult just because it has got so many buttons. I guess if they sort of streamlined it even more, it'd have to be really streamlined though to get that. So if they could do it, it'd be fantastic. But I think Armor 3, there's just so many buttons. But I suppose you could I guess make it more console friendly, but who knows. But I think squad, I couldn't see why not. Thoughts on the new Stalker 2 coming to Xbox? Yeah, I think it looks really good. I think it got delayed though, I'm pretty sure, so that was a little bit of a shame. But yeah, I think it could be pretty good. Dying Light as well, Dying Light 2. Fairly excited for that. Should be pretty good. I think there's been fairly good reviews on that so far, so I'm really excited for Dying Light 2. I didn't actually play the first one, but I like that style of game. I might need to play the first one, but I'm excited nevertheless to see what Dying Light 2 is all about. I do like it. It looks good. The gunplay on Insurgency is excellent. Yeah, I do like it. I think the gunplay is sound. Insurgency deserves more attention than Vanguard. Yeah, for sure. I can't see why people are still supporting these AAA games. The same crap that's basically just spewed out every single year. I think it's time to give indie games and especially hardcore tactical shooters just a go. Like, give them a chance. But yeah, I think we're moving towards more hardcore shooters happening. I think when I was like even 2 or 3 years ago, it would be unimaginable to have all the tactical shooters that we have, like Insurgency, Sandstorm, and Hell Let Loose. I never thought those games would ever come out, especially Insurgency, Sandstorm. But to see them coming out now, I think it's great, and I think we're moving more towards that, which is, I think, a really positive. But yeah, playing Hell Let Loose now, yeah, it's a great game. I'll have to play it. I'll have to play it some. I might play it tonight, a bit later actually. But yeah, it is a great game. It's probably a little bit too late now, but yeah, it's. I'm really glad that it's getting the attention. Like Hell Let Loose is definitely doing really well, which is great to see. Hell Let Loose, awesome game, just awesome. Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people saying that, but yeah, if you do want to see any more podcasts in the future, then I'll certainly do them. Let me know if you've got any topics as well. Just let me know in the comments box if you've got any ideas later on. Do message me. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone stopping by tonight. I've really enjoyed it actually. It's been really good. And yeah, I appreciate everyone. And if you could drop me a like before you go, if you could get us to 50 likes, that'd be awesome. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video or stream. See you later, guys.